Hey guys, good morning. Thank you for watching the Driver's Side Chats. It is another beautiful day in North Carolina. We get a lot of beautiful days in North Carolina, just saying, even when it's hot, even when it's cold. But today we're going to continue the idea of your career path and finding a job that works for you, not only financially and something that you enjoy, but looking a little bit deeper into finding the right job. So one thing that's huge is benefits. When you're looking for a job, there are a lot of things in the benefits you want to consider. So, for example, when I was working at the dealership, I'm not going to bash the dealership, but the benefits weren't that great. It's almost like when you're working as a salesperson in any kind of environment, it's almost like you're an entrepreneur yourself. It's almost like you've got your own business, you've got your own clients, and you've got your own product. And your entire living is made up of what you sell. So, you're there 6-7 days a week even on some occasions. You don't take a lot of time off. You're there from first thing in the morning all the way to the end of the day. I mean, it is a non-stop environment. And I'm going to tell you, there's good money to be made in sales if you're good at it. But there's little to no benefits. They have a small 401k plan. You get a little bit of paid time off, which is actually better than some places because some dealerships don't even get that. This is where I was at. And they had insurance, but the insurance package wasn't really great. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. So when I went and decided to get into the banking world, I looked around in my environment, and there are tons and tons of banks and credit unions. Now, the place that I chose a credit union, and before I even started the job, or before I really even applied, I had looked into a lot of the benefits, my time off that I get to take, which is extremely generous. I get 11 holidays per year, and starting out, you get 120 hours of PTO that you've got to accrue over time, but in the first year, you get 120 hours given to you. And by the time you reach 10 years, you get, in addition to your 11 paid holidays, you get a total of 25 paid days off in the accumulative hours, which I believe is like 200 hours worth of time. Another nice thing to consider about that is you can actually roll overtime too. They allow you to carry over up to 8 weeks, which is incredible. So if I had all my PTO time, I could take my regular 5 weeks during the year plus get an extra 8 weeks off that year if I wanted to. Now that 8 weeks, I'm gonna try to build that up for myself as soon as possible, just because I like having the safety net if my wife gets pregnant, and when we have the baby, if I want to take 3 or 4 weeks off, the availability is there for me to do so. And of course that'd be something planned long in the future, but just the idea of being able to roll those hours over without it actually having to affect your actual plans for the year. Say we wanted to do a couple of vacations, or do all these kind of little things, or maybe with the kids or whatnot, the time is there, and having that, not inconvenience, but having that time to be with your wife, or just to have that time off to be able to take care of that need, that opportunity is totally there for you. So that's something you want to consider, just time off, and how much you can take off, how much you can roll over into the previous year, how much you can save off of that. Another thing to consider is your 401k benefit, which again, I looked into this with multiple banks, and this was a really strong one. So I'm not going to get into my salary and whatnot, but here's what their whole program is, and this is all across the board. This is if you're at the low end making, and I don't even know if this is, I don't know what numbers are, even if you're making $1 per year, or if you're making $500,000 a year in the whole corporation, their 401k plan is even across the board. If you put in 5% of your income, so let's say you make $100,000 a year, just to throw out the numbers, that's my even number to go off of. If you put in 5% or $5,000, they will match it 200%. So I put in $5,000, they're going to put in $10,000 with a total investment of $50,000. $15,000 a year when you only put in $5,000, which is incredible. I've heard of a lot of 401k plans, but 200% match is pretty strong. And there are probably other places that do that too, and there could be other 401k programs that are even better. But I mean, that's a strong 401k plan, and that was one of the big things, especially being a Dave Ramsey person, thinking about saving for retirement. When if you're doing baby step 4, which is putting 15% of your income away, and then getting an extra 10% on top of that, that is huge for your retirement. So, that's another big benefit to consider. Another thing is your insurance, and of course your insurance is going to vary based upon a lot of factors. If you get like cancer protection, if you get family protection for just you, just your wife. I will tell you, the place that I work at, they take care of my health care completely. I do have to pay like $27 a month for short-term disability and my dental, but everything else is free. Plus, I've got a $100,000 policy that they give me through work, and in addition to that, I can buy life insurance for my wife for a very low cost, and I only pay like $27 a month, which is really good. Of course, that's just for myself. My wife's insurance is also a pretty good policy through her work, so that's why we do it separately. But I mean, they just have these extra like things that you can do to, it's free. It's part of the package. And of course, what your deductibles will be with your monthly costs and stuff like that, it can vary. So really, that's going to be in the eye of the beholder, what you're getting for the value of it. Just things to keep an eye out for. I mean, they have a lot of extra. Where I work, they have a lot of things like that you can buy extra in addition to. When I just started out, I didn't really know where to go, but come October, I might be making a couple changes. I haven't decided yet. So just a thought, just something you may want to consider, that insurance is another big one. I think another thing just to consider is just your career path itself. So I talked yesterday about forming a career path and finding out where you want to go, but I think you need to maybe consider this before your hire date too. Is it something that you're going to be spending 60 hours a week trying to climb the ladder, or is this something you're going to just do in your regular 40-hour work week? What is it going to take to climb the ladder? Because of course, when you climb the ladder, the pay generally goes up with that. And so that's just a thought to keep on the side about climbing the ladder, how easy it would be to do. At a dealership, it's extremely, extremely competitive, and it is solely based upon how hard you work and the results that you obtain. So, in that kind of environment, you better be there 6 days a week, and you better be cranking out cars like nobody's business to get the next promotion when the time has come. However, in a banking business, the whole program is different. I mean, yeah, you need to work hard, you need to show that you're working hard, and you need to produce results that are worthy of a promotion. And, again, that's just based upon a lot of different factors. So it is definitely something to think about there for your career possibilities. So I think that's really going to do it. That's sort of the main bits to be looking for. And I'm sure there are other main bits too that you really ought to consider. But that's huge. I'm going to give you one more. Your stress level. Always, always, always ask in an interview about what kind of stress you might have to face, just for your own knowledge. And I'm talking about like when the hiring point is getting pretty close. That way you can kind of get an idea and a definite assurance that, is this a high stress job, is it a low stress job? That's something you may want to ask, just so that you can get an idea. If you're in a sales position, it's a high stress job. Been there, done that, and don't really care to go back if I don't have to. But consider the stress level that you might have to get to put yourself under. Of course, the compensation, that is another factor, but I feel like that one's kind of obvious. And you just got to decide, is it worth the stress? Is it worth what I'm getting? And all of that with benefits towards my compensation? Is it all worth it? So finally, that'll end it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching and just putting up with my my dumb voice. It's so monotone, I'm sorry guys, and my voice cracking, whatever. But thank you so much. I really do appreciate the views. I know this isn't a mainstream channel, and I know it's not something that gets millions and millions of views, but those that have been watching, I do appreciate it. So thank you very much. Have a good day, and like always, please like and subscribe. See you guys.